Hello, guys, and welcome. Let me know if you can hear me. As usual, we will begin with the Bitcoin charts. If you have any questions, make sure to put them in the YouTube channel. The first thing I'd like to do is give a quick update on the triangle that I've drawn and that I've used in my previous live streams. And I would personally say that this is looking pretty good, depending on the way you draw your resistance. Obviously, there are several ways to do it. How I've done it, and let me just get this a little bit more clear for you guys. You should be able to see this. I've only taken the openings and the closings all the way from February, and I did not include any wicks. Now, if we do that, the first thing that we will notice is that we, might be working on a breakout of this resistance. Obviously, like a couple hours ago, Bitcoin took quite a dump. And I believe that the main reason for this is because somebody sold off 2,000 Bitcoins on Bitstamp. But then again, it is still looking okay. And I would say that there could still be a good chance of a breakout to the upside. That's also why I took my position. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And we will just cancel the trade and go on to the next trade. Now, what would that be? As far as I'm concerned, that's pretty simple. I would say we have our support, and I'm just going to transform that support into a green color. There we go. And we have the resistance over here. I would personally say we could have a very good chance of going upwards from here. However, if we don't, we have to, or I have to admit that I was wrong. Cancel the trade and look for a new setup. And I would, personally use this support right here for the new setup. On the short term, and I mean the hourly, things are looking okay as well. I would say the first thing we have to do now after this dump is take out the previous low, which is currently sitting at, let's see, 6,605 USD. If we can take out that low, I would become more positive on a breakout to the upside. But first, we're going to have to wait and see. As you've seen in Discord, I've done a position along. I'm still in the long. We did not trigger our stop loss, at least on BitMEX, and everything should still be good. Other than that, I don't really have a whole lot to add about Bitcoin. So I would like to continue and go over to ETH USD. Ethereum USD. I've actually covered this in the last stream as well, and I would like to give an update on that. For some reason, Ethereum really likes symmetric triangles. Last time we broke down to quite a violent dump. This time it's a little bit different. It appears as though we might have broken up to the upside, and we might now be working on an actual retest of the broken resistance. So we broke out, we went back down, tested the resistance, put in some very nice candles. This here is a hammer. Usually it's a reversal candle. So I would say that for Ethereum as well, we have a pretty good chance of continuing this run to the upside. I would like to note, however, that on both these positions, I'm going to be very, very careful because we are still in a bear trend. We've been in a bear market for a very long time. And I'm also pretty sure the bears won't give up without at least a good fight. So that's the position I'm currently playing on Ethereum. My target for this play, if we do continue our run to the upside, would be the 1.272, which is currently sitting at 278. That's where I would do my first sell-off and possibly, keep some coins for when we reach that 300 mark right here, which is also the point of control on the volume profiling. I'm not going to show that now. but that's basically where I'm aiming at. Let us see. Do we have any questions, by the way? No questions. Okay, so that's the play I'm gonna take on Ethereum. And what I would hope for, personally, and this would be the best case scenario, is a run up to that mark and then just another move down and up again, which would make this a head and shoulders pattern. That would be, in my eyes, the best case scenario. But of course, this is pure speculation. We might also just dump down here and continue the bear trend. Let's see. Next, SIA. Something I'd really like to cover and also covered. Just give a quick update. As I've said in my previous stream, we basically broke out of this very, very long bear trend, right? Right after we had a very good run up. And personally, I still believe we are creating a bull flag here. And the only reason I would cancel my position is if we really do break this previous low here. My targets, which are, of course, also on Discord, are as follows. My first target is sitting at 151 Satoshis. My second target is sitting at 200 Satoshis. I should basically move this down a little bit. That's where I'm currently aiming. If we do break out this previous low here, then I will cancel the position. But for now, there is no reason to assume that we are actually going to have to do that. Some other alts are really looking good as well. Got a request on Salt, which I'm going to do right now. Give me a second. Salt here. I haven't actually checked Salt in a while. Never been really interested in Salt, but maybe that might change now, because I do have to say that this looks pretty good. And let's see what the best way is to actually draw a resistance here. I would say this pretty much covers it. Had some very good tests on this resistance. It broke out and it didn't really react, but it seems like there is some life coming to Salt right now. So if you want to take a position here, first of all, keep in mind Salt is in price discovery mode. What does that actually mean? There is no data for me to go off, for me to use in order to make a target, other than this dump that we had here. So there is no way to know where the actual support here would be. My best guess would be that this low right here is the current support, and the reason is that ever since Salt set in this high right here, it never really had a very good long consolidation. There is one period where it did have some sort of consolidation, which lasted 32 days. It seems that Salt has been in this area for 76 days, which is considerably longer. So as far as I see it, two things could happen. Could be a breakout coming up, and the level I would choose for that is the previous high. So this is how I would personally draw this to the upside. If this previous high gets taken out here, in that case, I would enter a position if I was going to trade this, and I would personally aim for 2,800 Satoshis. Reason being that, other than this support level, there hasn't really been a clear bottom. That Salt set. There is one tiny bottom here, which you could potentially use to base your trade off, which is sitting at 1,500 Satoshis. However, if you're going to do that, I'm going to greatly wonder if it's worth the risk reward. What is the risk? The risk is breaking the previous low. And the reward would be going to this resistance right here, which would give this a risk-reward ratio of 0.6, and thus, in my book, not really worth taking. However, if you put your target up here and you've got confidence that we're going to get there, in that case, that would make it worth the trade. So this is my thought. Do you have any additional questions? Or does that pretty much cover it? Okay. Can I check Lux? I can check Lux. Actually, I can't. I'm actually on TradingView right now, which I'm pretty sure doesn't have Lux. No, it doesn't. I'm sorry. I will actually do a complete alt live stream tomorrow. So just gonna have to be a little bit patient, if that's okay. But overall, if we look at the general altcoin market, and for that I'm just going to tools, to global charts, going to exclude Bitcoin from this, and I really want to take a look at the past 2 years. If we take our our total market cap, then I would say, and this is my personal opinion, that we are working on forming an actual long-term bottom here. Because if we look at the price action predating the massive alt pump that happens in November, December of 2017, we can see that the market cap has lasted at $100 million for a very, very long time. And it is true, and I keep saying this, that when a bubble pops, and obviously this was a bubble, the price is always going to retrace 80%. I can safely say we have done that. We have retraced 80%, and we haven't really set any new low over the past, over the past month, maybe 2 months. So I'm getting a little bit excited here. I'm getting carefully excited, I should add. I don't want to FOMO in or make stupid decisions. But I would say the alt market is looking good. And it is right now time to, for me to set up some long-term positions. And hopefully we can have an end of the year rally, which would really, really be beneficial. Could be some great trading. For Bitcoin, because obviously Bitcoin is different from all the other markets. The way I treat it. For Bitcoin, I'm not quite sure if we're going to get out of the bear market. And the reason is, if we look at the previous bubble period, there we go. We also had a similar setup. Let's draw the triangle. There we go. Now we also broke out to the upside. We made some really nice gains, so there's definitely some room to make some gains. But sadly, after this happened, there was an extended period of a bear market. And I can't say if this is really going to happen again if we start breaking out now, because at this time there were, close to 600,000 stolen Bitcoins being sold off on BTCE, which really suppressed the price. But we always have to keep in our mind that even if we break out to the top sides right now, it might not be the end of it, and it could very well last for another year. So, my feelings is cautious excitement, and things are looking pretty good, but we just have to be realistic. How high do you set the leverage when you enter a position? I would say in general 5x. A maximum of 5x, I should say. Sometimes I do 10x, but it really depends on the trade. I took this trade with pretty low leverage because it's still unclear if we have an actual breakout or not. I should say if we do break out, I'm gonna add some leverage, and make my position a little bit larger. But 5x is a good rule of thumb. So yeah, other than that, tomorrow I have another live stream planned. I'm going to continue on my candle stream, which I did last week. Gonna be part 2. Gonna talk about candlesticks a lot, show some examples, and basically try to do some education there. So I'm really excited for that. And hopefully by the end of the week, we're gonna have a nice run. You know, nothing is certain yet. Let's keep that in mind. But it's good to be optimistic as long as you're realistic. I'm gonna be on Discord right now. I'm gonna go in the voice chat, in the lounge chat, just to talk with you guys for a bit. So I'm gonna see you there. I'm gonna thank you for watching and have a great day.